All right, welcome everybody. Now we're recording. So, first project meeting. I wrote a few objectives on a Word document we could take a look at. Just hold it off of the Canvas page. So I'm going to screen share that so you guys can take a look and see what you think. Just to make sure we cover everything in the meeting. Did that show up okay for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, obviously, I think we need to figure out which project we want to go with. There's been a few different suggestions, and I think when we left the discussion, the box garden was probably winning out. So, as far as what people have suggested, I got 5 things that I put down. So, the first suggestion was a business plan for housing rental company. Another option was creating a video. I think that was for Nick's employer. A business plan for a new product. Building a community box garden. We already talked about. And creating a landing page for a website. So I don't know if that covers everything. Do you guys think of any other ideas we went over?
I think that's pretty much it, unless there's any other ideas out there.
I mean, I'm happy with any of those. So.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So we went and looked at a couple of final projects that were posted up as examples. So give me one sec. I'll post those up too on the screen share. So one that caught my eye, it was, let's see, called the Wolverine Project Report. So with that, so what they did was an oil and natural gas market analysis report for North America and Russia. And the reason I thought this one was pretty important is because one of the setbacks that we had for the business plan was that we didn't actually have a sponsor. So we just created a fictitious company and a fictitious sponsor. And just went with that. It looked like it worked out just fine for them. So I don't know if that's something you guys are.
I still like to double check on whether or not we can do a fictitious sponsor. Because I remember reading somewhere that it needs to be somebody, you know, it mentioned it, whether it was a friend, family member, or another classmate. So I'd love to double check that and just see if it's something that can be fictitious. I mean, I know the project itself can, or the company can for sure, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Into.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. Let's see. It's in the project overview.
Oh yeah, second paragraph.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's student, friend, boss, community leader, not just someone from your own team. So technically, it doesn't say a made-up person. But at the same time, with these examples, it's talking about an actual person. So I don't know. Like, I guess it's really that interpretation of what that sponsor is.
Would be easier if we had a fictitious budget to work with, obviously.
Yeah, there's a few other things in the final report that look like it would be beneficial for us to have a little bit more complex project.
Yeah, and if we wanted a real budget, my work would put in a real budget for that video too. So if we wanted a real sponsor and a real budget, we could definitely do it through there.
So what's the video that your work needs?
So we're building a new landing page for one of our products, and we need a 30-second loop video with no audio to go on the background of that website. So really simple. It's no audio, super short. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean,
if you guys want to see an example, you can go to pocketpoints.com. And they have a video that's, I mean, we're not going to do something like necessarily like this, but they've got a video that, similar idea of a video anyway.
So yeah, maybe we could just use that, try and use like a made up person, and then for the sponsor. And if that doesn't work, then maybe we can get donations, or I could even talk and somehow, could you get donation? Can it be multiple sponsors, or does it have to be one individual person?
Technically, according to the book, that that there are multiple customers, or in a sense stakeholders.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's really to like one customer in particular. But granted, that customer can also be a group of people, or an actual company itself. So like with the website or that video, that sponsor would basically be Nick's company.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
But going back to the box garden thing, like just thinking out loud that, like, let's say like we can buy the supplies, or I'll have my wife, not put in quotations, it's really through me, but since my wife would be the sponsor, that we can buy enough materials that more than just one box. So like if you guys would like one too, we can incorporate that too, or even we can gear it towards to find some like elderly people that have a hard time maintaining their garden, and that would be one way to help them, that have it be more accessible to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. No, I'm definitely not against the box garden idea. I think it'd probably be a good project, especially if we turn it into like a service project, like what you're saying.
Yeah, and like the other thing too, I believe that our instructor or professor, whoever you call her, will also give her input after we submit this video on the page. That way she can, in a sense, she's also a stakeholder for this project. So she can even help us guide through like some sort of specifics for that project.
Okay.
That sounds good. So box garden then, and is it Clayton? Your wife will be the sponsor for that.
Oh, it's me. It's Chad.
Oh, Chad. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I guess so. But we can put it to a vote if we want to decide if we want to do the box garden, and or do, I don't know, what's our runner up, that 30-second video?
Yeah.
Yeah, so are those the three then? So box garden, 30-second video, and
What's the third one? Should we do?
oh, the business plan for the product or rental company.
Oh, yeah. About that product thing, I'm really not familiar on how to come up with a business plan. I don't know if that's part of this class, but the only thing I know, it's more like some of the lines of like a Kickstarter project, to have a plan for the like one of the products I came up with, and that plan would be to get it onto Kickstarter. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or have any experience with creating business plans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a business plan. The project could be to get the product onto Kickstarter. that would eliminate some hassle with it. If we were to
Yeah.
go with that.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you last said.
Oh, so
Um,
we were debating on with this product whether to actually make a business plan or if the project could be actually just to come up with the product and put it on like Kickstarter.
okay. And what would be the advantage or reason to come up with a product that we could say put on Kickstarter?
So one idea I posted on the discussion that we did. It's basically to incorporate like a locking device on a USB flash drive. So when I'll pull out like a little example of a flash drive. I don't know if you can see like this male part. Whenever you pull it out of the computer, this male part will actually suck into the housing and lock up.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to get this male piece out would be to do like a key or even like a combination to push it back out. So like the purpose of that product would be more for to have some form of security, like that someone can't just steal that flash drive, but like if you accidentally left it in the computer, like at a library, and they can't use it anymore.
Right.
So that's one idea, but at the same time, though, this idea would have been great about 5 years ago, before the cloud database stuff like Dropbox and Google
Yeah.
Drive. So,
Yeah.
but for this project, it could work though.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think it has enough material there where we could deal with like budget constraints, risks, and things like that, where they actually, come out to be a pretty decent project and they'd cover all the material with it. So, I mean that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal with it, figure out a project that best fits.
Yeah.
Which I guess is usually said and done, so I don't know exactly what all the assignments are. So I was trying to go through some of these final reports that people submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we just take it to a vote of which one we
Yeah.
want to do?
I'm okay with that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I joined late.
Hey,
No, fine. So yay or nay on the box garden?
I'm for that one. But I'm for any one of the ideas. I like the 30-second video too. It seems like that would be pretty easy. And was it? I think it was Nick, or no, not Nick. Was it Ryan? I think it seemed like he had it pretty set up where it'd be pretty easy to do that one too. But the box garden seemed real simple. We could all grasp it and put a lot of effort into it. It might be simple, but I think we could put a lot of effort into it and make it a good project, successful and stuff. So.
And there's always risks in making something like that too.
well, that I'm thinking, so there's risks. We would have to work within a budget. You'd have to have a schedule of, what point you're starting, what part of the box project. I mean, that would be the same with the video as well. I think I'm in favor of either the box or the garden box or the video.
I think or just to clarify in the video, I think there'd be a lot more or a lot less, I guess, physical work on the actual project as opposed to the box garden. And so we could just pick whichever we prefer. But it's like for the video, we'd be doing just a lot more planning and stuff, getting the videographer set up and the place that we're going to shoot it at, the actors and whatever, and get all that set up. Whereas we wouldn't be doing actually as much stuff literally, I guess. So that's just kind of two differences between those two projects. But again, I'm game for either one as well. And
you get paid for it too, Nick.
Well, actually, I don't. It's actually for a separate department, but I will, right?
Since it's for your work, I thought you would just get paid for it.
Oh yeah. No, we just do it, and then we'd work amongst the project, really. Yep.
Okay. How about you, Clayton? Well, not Clayton. Tate.
I'm good with either of them. I don't entirely know what's going on because obviously I joined late because I got off work a lot later than I expected. But
we didn't really get started till about 6:45, so you didn't miss too much. We were just discussing some of the different plan ideas, and we're trying to figure out which one to get started with or go with.
Yeah, I could go for either of them. They both sound like they could be really interesting to work on. So.
I think I'm leaning more towards the box garden personally. I kind of like the idea of the hands-on project, and where in our final report we can put the photos of the finished product. I mean, which is true for video too. Obviously, you could add the video into the final project. I think I'm kind of torn between those two.
Okay, yeah, I think so. So maybe do a vote between those two.
Yeah.
Okay, so box garden.
I'll say yay because the other thing I didn't explain in the discussion thing is that my wife wanted this box garden a year ago, and I still haven't worked on it at all. So this is a prime opportunity for me to get that done. So I'll say box garden.
Any other votes for box garden?
I'll vote box garden as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I vote box garden.
That's 3. We need one more vote, and that's a democracy right there.
I mean, I would say let's just do it then. I mean, I feel like it's been kind of the consensus throughout. So.
Yeah, and both ideas sound really interesting to me, and I think we could learn a lot from either one. Okay, box garden.
What if we tentative box garden, and then we talked about contingency plans before. Maybe the video will be a backup. I mean, we'd have to decide real soon if we needed a backup. But
yeah. And we'll hear from the instructor on her feedback. Who knows? It could be the worst case scenario of this. This is a horrible idea. You need a fix it. But
I think it'd be good.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So box garden. All right.
So team name?
Oh yeah, I do need team name.
I don't even know. I mean, what would we call it? What box garden team? I mean, I don't know.
The Green Sun.
Box garden.
I don't have any. I don't have any good names. I'm fine with Team Project 3. Really.
I think we might need to.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Maybe we can come back to that.
Yeah, we can come back to it.
Good idea to circle back to it.
All right.
Because you want something that everyone likes, but that's not going to come across as odd to other people that don't know what it's about.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right.
All right. On our summary page, looks like we need team name, team members, details for the meeting, short description of proposed project with sponsor. So we have that. And we're box garden, and the sponsor is Chad's wife.
Yep,
What's your wife's name, Chad?
Penny,
Penny?
like
Okay,
the
so Penny.
copper penny kind of stone.
Okay, so Penny is our sponsor.
Perfect. So another thing we're supposed to add in our summary page is high-level costs, schedule, risks, and meeting schedule. Which could just be, I guess, a preliminary estimate of those things.
It might be more creative and more planning on our end if we try to make it like part of the goal for this box garden idea is to try to make it as cheap as possible, but at the same time to have that box garden have what's the word, like better, have a good quality to it, if that makes sense. So I think that would be the tricky part, is to kind of cut those costs down a lot and kind of show that through the whole planning process, to show that we've explored one area or this area, but also came out with this box garden. I don't know, because with costs, we can easily go to Walmart and buy a kit, really, and that would be it.
Yeah, but the kit probably wouldn't be as high quality, right? So
Yeah.
low cost, high quality.
I think it would be better if we had to actually go buy, supplies, nails, screws, wood.
Yeah.
To really, have those things to use in a budget.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's important to note too, this is just a high level, cost and risk, and a pretty ballpark number. It doesn't have to be super, right on right now.
So it doesn't have to be accurate.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it has to be an estimate of what it's actually going to cost us to do. Whether we go over budget or under budget is kind of our project management skills.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Chad, I guess this one would really be up to you in figuring what your expectations are. That'd be a good ballpark. And then we can get down.
It's hard to say, I guess. I haven't really done much of the research, but I would say, I don't know, a range of like maybe about $30 to $50, maybe. It would be great. At least my sponsor would love it if it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, part of the preliminary planning would be to find out some prices on things. And we also, how big of a box do you want, so we know as far as supply how much.
And I can give you those measurements, and like I said in the discussion, that we're living in a townhouse area, and it has an HOA taking care of the outside, and one of their rules is you can't alter their landscape at all. So in a sense, this box garden will have to be like on our porch. So it can't be on the lawn itself. Then I would assume it can't be a big eyesore either. So, but I can easily get you guys the measurements of at least what the porch size is, and then possibly my wife or our sponsor can give her a suggestion on what kind of a size that she would want. So it's not
based on size is how much cost is going to be on supplies. So that's a huge factor into how much our cost is going to be. Because obviously the bigger it is, the more it's going to cost.
That's true. Well, just picturing what my porch looks like. It's a pretty small porch. I bet you like maybe a 2 foot by 3. Yeah, 2 by 3 feet. I don't know about the height, but maybe a foot, 1.5 feet. So how about that? We'll do a 2 by 3 by 1.5 box garden. Do you guys have any experience with box gardens before, or?
We've got a few. I mean, I think 1.5 feet is a little tall.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I don't know. The ones that we have are probably like maybe 10 inches tall. They're made with railroad ties. So however tall those are, I'm not sure. But
I want to say they're 9-10 inches.
yeah.
Right.
So we could use like a 2 by 8, on the edges, and that might work well. Then that would cut down on material a lot because we could just use a 2 by 8 instead of putting 2 of them together or something like that.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. 2 by 8 by 3 feet. Is that yeah, that would be a good size. And I know for certain that will fit in our porch.
So we'd need 2 2 by 8s from Home Depot. That's $20. And that should get us enough wood for all the edges.
Mm-hmm.
And then a piece of plywood to go on the bottom.
I don't know if I would use plywood because that tends to break pretty easy. Because you're going to have to put holes in the bottom of it to allow for drainage.
Okay.
Or we can use, I guess we can use a mixture of using like chicken wire and some sort of fencing on the bottom, but also put I don't know if you've seen like that black fabric that
like the ground cover.
Yeah, that's also.
And I think I might have some access to that stuff through my dad, so we might be able to get that either donated to us or for cheaper than normal. So
on a normal box garden, do they have a membrane inside of it? Or is it just wood with dirt filled in it?
I think it's just dirt.
Yeah, especially with this size, I don't think we'll.
Yeah, I have a box garden in my backyard. I didn't make it, but there's like a plastic lining, at least on the sides. I don't know about the very bottom. That might be kind of maybe when it was built was used for a membrane.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about because I thought I'd seen.
But I don't know.
Yeah. From the limited research I did so far, some use that landscape fabric as the sides, like as the membrane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, I'm unfamiliar in this area, so.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I think that's probably enough to get us our high-level estimate on price. So
then, what were you saying, Nick? It would be maybe like $40 then, or really just 20, because it comes in 8 feet, right?
Yeah, it's $20 for the wood, but I mean, we want to add on a bit for incidentals and stuff. So I mean, I thought that $30 to $50, that's a pretty decent high-level estimate to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think $50 would probably be a quicker there, so not a big deal.
So remind me that the high-level cost is just a vague idea of how much it would cost.
Yeah.
So
when we budget projects at work for when we like have somebody build an app or something, I mean, the high-level estimate is literally like we will tell people, hey, your app is going to cost anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000. Are we even in the same ballpark? That's our initial estimate. It really is. And then the secondary estimates, like, okay, it's going to be around 25 to 35,000. You know, so our estimate works down the project line quite a ways. But again, I mean, this is totally different. So I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to hurt ourselves by saying a high level budget of 30 to 50. You know what I mean, or even 20 to 40. It doesn't. I just don't. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be, you know,
Yeah, I agree.
super accurate right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure it can be fine tuned as this project goes on.
All right. Well, then let's say our high level cost is, let's just throw that number out, like 30 to 50, just to cover
Okay.
that.
Okay, that sounds good. So what do you guys think about the high level schedule? What do you think they're trying to get out when they're asking that question? Just when to have the box completed by? So I looked up some due dates. A draft final report is April 5th.
I guess a good ballpark would be like what time would be best to start planting, so you can, so for our sponsor, my wife can actually get some sort of produce out of it during the summer or something like that. So isn't there like a prime time to start planting like certain things like tomatoes or lettuce or something like that?
What month would that be? Do you know?
April or May, or well, March or April. It just depends on the last frost is really.
So our draft final report is April 5th. So maybe a high level schedule. What? In
End
April?
of March.
Yeah, I would say like probably like sometime March, because that way
Yeah.
gives us, or gives my sponsor plenty of time to plan what kind of plants she wants to use to grow. Kind of thing. We can do for the schedule. Do we need to pick an exact date?
I don't think so.
Not at this time, I don't think. I think probably the next meeting we'll need to set more of a strict time saying, okay, we need the sides built by this day, the ends built by this, we need it put together by this, and we need it going into place by this day.
Gotcha. So then, let's say the middle of March would be that we would have to finish that product.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that works. And then our high level risks. That would be the last item. So with this HOA, do you think they're a risk where they might get involved and not approve it?
Yeah, that is an excellent risk to consider. I'll admit I have not run this by them or by that committee. So, and technically that can be one of the objectives that I can do, and to report back for the next meeting or whatever, to see like what they say. Sorry. Well,
Okay. What other risks may be involved?
What about the risk that we don't get it built early enough, so it's not usable this year, where we miss the planting season?
No, sorry.
yeah,
Not get the project.
yeah. The risk would be the allowed. Well, that's not the right wording. I think it would be more of the time to get together to actually build it. That would be a risk right there. Is that we can't figure out a time to build it together and to have it be done, I guess.
Okay.
Another risk
Time
I can think
management.
of. Oh, what was that?
So maybe the risk, we could call it time management.
Okay.
Yeah, time management. That's a good one. I guess another risk would be like you guys were talking about the last frost. We technically don't know when that will be.
Right.
But granted, though, I don't know how that would affect the project itself. But maybe it's the. I guess it could be the environment. Like we don't really want to try to build this thing while it's snowing.
I mean, there's always the option to build it in a garage or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that, as far as the building of it goes, would be a risk.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Another risk too. It's kind of stretching it a little bit. That there could be some health risks of when we actually build it. That we're dealing with some power tools to cut it out, and that's kind of the level of
Yeah, I would
health and
say
safety risk.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Could have the risk that we don't have the right skills to build it too, and it doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got pretty much everything we need to get it built, I think.
I got quite a bit of tools too if we need any tools. And so I that's what I do is work. I'm a mechanic and I've done a lot of construction. So if we need any tools or anything, I think I could, even supplies, I think some of these supplies I might be able to come up with and maybe save us some money on our budget that way too. So.
You've kept quiet for too long.
We've got a high-level cost estimate, scheduled risks. What else?
Set up our meeting times and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think our next ones will be able to plan a little better. This one was just kind of, we were down to the wire trying to just eke in a meeting time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how often do we want to meet?
I was thinking on meeting, we have our first, on February 11th, we have the first project progress report. And so I was thinking maybe sometime before we each got to turn something in that's worth big points, we should maybe meet, make sure we're on the same page with stuff. I know there was one on February 11th, March 4th, March 11th, April 4th, and April 25th. So I don't know if like the weekends right before that would work best for everyone, or maybe we can think of some ideas and come up with something that would work good for all of us. But
yeah, I like that idea of meeting before.
Yeah, me too.
Making sure we're all on the same page for our project. Yeah, so it kind of sounded like most everyone was okay with evenings, but most everyone prefers weekend meeting.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm fine with evenings. Tate, is there? Do you have any? From what you sent before, that you like work at nights, don't you?
Yeah, I work till about 8:30 at night every night, except for Thursdays. I'm down at school all day till 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So everyone got the Slack.
What would work best for you, Tate? Because of course I have
8:30 would work, and then Saturdays 6:30 would work,
Okay.
and then all day Sunday.
Okay.
I kind of like this time, Saturday night, 6:30. I think that works okay for me. But I can
if we do, I mean, how close is everyone to UVU main campus?
I'm close.
Does anyone else?
I'm about like 10 to 15 minutes away, but if it's necessary, then I'll go out there. So.
Okay, I was just wondering if anyone else would happen to be on campus Thursdays. I mean, maybe if we were all there Thursday evening, but if not, I kind of think the remote is easier for sure.
Yeah, I'm about an hour away.
Yeah, and we can do a combination too that for those who can meet at UVU, we can still have that there and also set up this Google Hangouts so everyone else who can't come on that day can still participate.
Okay.
So as far as actually planning throughout the week, I think that Slack, if everyone could get that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So I think that we could probably take care of most things on there, like divvying out work and making sure we're, up to speed on projects and hitting deadlines.
Okay.
So it seems like for the project meeting kind of stuff, isn't it basically like every week that we need to turn something in? Or is it more like every other week?
So I looked forward to some of the future assignments, and this was the only one I could see that required like a video submission. The rest is all parts of the project that I could turn in, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, it looks like there's you were talking about the project progress reports. It looks like that's every month starting February 11th.
Okay.
So
how frequent should we have these meetings on? Like, I guess it sounds like Thursday will work, right? Thursday evening, maybe?
For remoting in, or?
I guess both. I don't know.
Tate, you're at school on Thursdays till 10. Are you in class till 10?
All right. So my schedule is 8 to 3:30, and then 6 to 10.
Okay.
So it's kind of an odd schedule.
Yeah. I don't know. I think weekends might just work. Well, I can do any evening. I can do make any evening work, but it might be better on
And if I have to, so my Thursday night thing, it's UVU's race team. So if I have to leave for a little bit, I can leave. It's not like I have to be there every time, but I try and be there the majority of the time.
I think where everyone's good with weekends, that wouldn't, be necessary. We could just plan on a weekend. Then you don't have to worry about Thursdays or missing out anything that you need to be at.
Yeah, maybe Thursdays, they work for me for the next few weeks, but not. I have a shift bid coming up, and so Saturdays would be the best.
Let's just say Saturdays then, if everyone else is good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with Saturday. I'm quite open on those Saturdays. So.
Is that good for you, Clayton?
Yeah, we can do. So we are going to do every Saturday then.
I don't know if we need to do every Saturday, or maybe just if we're doing a lot of it, communicating over Slack, and then just kind of maybe like you had mentioned, meet before some of these bigger assignment due dates and make sure that we've got everything we need. We're all on the same page.
Okay. Yeah. I think if we met, the weekend before February 11th on that Saturday and kind of talked everything over, that would give us the whole week to, make sure we have everything ready to be sent in, and kind of do that every time we got to send something in, just that Saturday before, if that works for everyone. But
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like that idea.
And Tate, is 6:30 okay, or do we need to make it a little bit
tonight was
later?
just kind of a fluke night, so
Okay.
I work at a dealership and we're supposed to close at 5, but
Oh, darn.
sometimes that doesn't happen.
Okay, so we'll just, I'm sure we can, if something else comes up, we can kind of just adjust our time if needed.
Right.
Meeting time.
And worst case scenario, kind of like tonight, I just kind of jumped in. We can do that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, should we jump back to team name real quick? Get that done.
No one came up with a team name yet?
No.
How about Penny Bots?
The what?
penny box.
Penny box?
Penny box?
Oh, yeah,
That's
great.
good. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, let's go with
Good
that.
enough.
Penny box.
Hey, this goes good enough. We're gonna make the best box, and then we'll put it on Kickstarter too.
Oh gosh. Yes. Brilliant idea.
The penny box.
We'll market it for small homes, small
Yeah.
yard areas.
Small yard areas. Awesome.
Okay, is there what? So what else do we need to go over?
I think we went over everything. I guess the last question is, who's going to write up and submit our summary?
Not it.
Yeah, I guess that was the question. Did we decide? Is it something each of us do individually, or we just turn in one page, or how does that work?
It doesn't specify on the Canvas thing, so I would assume that we just have one of us do it, but I don't know. I could be interpreting it wrong, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's throw this screen share up and let's take a look. So I just hit submit and it says keep in mind this submission will count for everyone in your project group's group. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
one
there you
sub
go.
let's see. Members. Okay, so I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's not like a big one-page paper or anything. It's just going over these discussion items, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So remind me again, how frequent are we going to meet?
Oh,
Looks like 3 times before the final project date.
Okay.
It's the Saturday before progress report is due for the project.
and then in between communication through Slack.
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
Because I also need to write this down so I don't forget.
So Ryan, will you be sending the video, or do we need to make sure? I don't know how all that's going to work.
Yeah.
So we're broadcasting right now. Once I stop the broadcast, it'll automatically post it as a YouTube video. And
Okay.
All right. And
we're putting the URL.
okay.
Okay. I think I have pretty much everything. If has to do the summary, I could just throw that together real quick and with the summary. So I think I have all the information here.
So let me just confirm here with the date we're meeting. So it's due on Sunday, the 11th of February. So are we meeting on the 10th, or are we going to meet the week before on the 3rd?
I know I'm going to be out of town on the 3rd. I'm going to be down in Mesquite.
So
I'm fine with either one.
So I'm seeing this project starter. That's in January 28th. Does that fall into that same category?
What was it?
The project charter,
Oh.
isn't that?
I don't think so. I mean, isn't the project charter, isn't it just basically a paper that the sponsor is signing off on the project, like, yes, you can do this? I mean, I think that's all it is.
Yeah, they have a template that we can go through and fill out. It's on Canvas in that assignment. So it's like a 5-page thing that they just go through the template. It doesn't look too complicated.
Gotcha. Because it looks like that's kind of a group effort kind of a thing. So I don't know if we need to meet that week before. Gosh, when is that? It's kind of
I
good
would
today,
say, yeah,
really.
I guess we can iron out the dates in Slack too.
Yeah.
If that sounds better.
So looking through that project charter, we need a project manager.
So
is my understanding. Do we want to just have that be Chad since he's closest to the project sponsor?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess I can be the project manager, even though we all are trying to be project managers, but
Right, but my understanding
Yeah,
is
I
that we
can
need
guess.
one for this project based on that project charter.
yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
let's go with that for now. I mean, if we could always get clarification from the instructor on that as well. But for now, we could just say we've elected Chad as project manager.
Good enough.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else that we need to discuss?
Have you guys played around with Microsoft Project yet?
Uh-uh.
I used it in a previous class. Made some, whatever they're called, Gantt charts with it.
Okay. Because I think we do eventually use it in this class, or at least with this.
I chatted with her actually about that.
Oh, yeah.
I run on a Mac, and so I've got a virtual machine with Windows on it. And so I was asking her, I was like, how much are we really going to use Project? And she said it's a 1 week thing where you have to do some stuff with it. Other than that, you can use or collaborate on whatever you'd like to, whether it's Trello or whatever,
Okay.
paper, you know, she doesn't care, but it's just that 1 week on a Microsoft Project.
Gotcha.
Good enough.
Well, that's good to know. Because I've
I
heard.
personally prefer not to, but that's just because I'm on a different system. So
Yeah. I've heard that project management is not friendly with trying to communicate with other people.
mhm.
So, like, kind of like with this Google Hangout thing, or even like a Google document that no one, like, it's a separate file, no one else can get in it unless if you send a file to the other person. So we could, I don't know, use some free online version that would work a lot better for all of us.
yeah, we also use, you know, Trello for different projects and stuff we do at work, and it works well. I mean, honestly, the project itself is small enough that I'm not sitting over tracking every detail in something like that. But if we want to, you know, we could definitely find something that would work good for it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
There's also an integration with Slack too to make it easy on everyone.
There's one more thought on our cost. So you got $30 to $50 for a preliminary estimate, but that doesn't factor in any like R&D. So I was reading through some of those other final projects, and they counted their labor. So they assigned like an hourly rate to design.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point.
I was thinking maybe we could all come up with some ideas of how to make the box garden. And then when we kind of get back together, kind of put all our ideas together, and maybe we can come up with what idea would be the best, the cheapest, and then kind of go from there, maybe on the Slack or wherever we use it, kind of, because I need to do a little research on it to figure out how to do it myself. So, and then maybe you guys will have some better ideas than me. So.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, the 30 to 50 can just be a, you know, it's just an estimate, preliminary estimate.
Yeah, absolutely. But even to the extent, like, if you want to, like, in a sense, go find a free palette, and you can use that material, you know, you can go really cheap that way.
And that stuff, that like pallets and stuff, and a lot of that chicken wire and stuff like that, I got access to all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll try and you guys put some ideas together, and I'll see if I can come up with some of that stuff, and then I'll put some ideas together too, and we'll see what materials we'll need. But
Okay.
For labor-wise, like, well, what was that?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, for labor-wise, like, this project can easily be done on a Saturday, probably like an hour or two. So I don't know how you incorporate that to our report.
That'd be
for
like
labor costs.
labor costs. Do we need to, I I mean, as long as everyone's just kind of checking Slack daily, or do we need to set up any sort of kind of say have your ideas in by, you know, the end of the week or something on Slack? Or
I think that's a good idea. That helps me anyway. I like it.
okay, just kind of put a time frame. So let's say the end of this next week, maybe everyone does some research and get in some ideas about box gardens.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then so for the high level cost, what do you guys think about? Would we just throw like $1,000 for R&D and labor, just to add that in there? It'll be
Okay.
all of our
Yeah, I'm
research
fine.
plan, you know, just
Yeah.
so we have our basic.
I think we can even do like 100 or 200, really.
Well, you got to remember though, there's 6 of us doing it, so you got to pay 6 people for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
You gotta pay
research
6
and
people
stuff.
labor, and
You're saying you won't pay, or you don't want to be paid like $1 an hour?
Yeah, I'm worth at least like $300 or $400 an hour, so we definitely want to up that budget.
All right. I'll talk to my sponsor about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you saying for what number were you throwing for the high cost?
I just threw out $1,000.
Okay.
So
That'll work.
research and development, so figuring out designs for it, you know,
Right.
build materials, everything along that line. So we could assign
Okay.
it $20 an hour or something like that. So
Yeah.
50 hours of labor between all of us. Probably a little bit low out of just a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
So with that in mind, for this next week, when we respond to Slack of our ideas, we need to keep track on how long we took to research the box garden and stuff. So
Okay.
that way it'll be a little bit more accurate in the long term.
Yeah. Good point.
All right, is there anything else anyone can think of that we need to do our submission and a summary? Looks like we have a team name, we have team info, high level costs, high level schedule, risks, and how frequently to meet, and our
Oh,
sponsor. Is that everything?
I think we got everything.
I think so.
All right, so unless there's any volunteers on writing up the summary, I guess I'll put that together and then just submit it.
Well, it seems you already got the format, Brian, so if you can do it, that'll be great, but
if
Yeah.
you're okay with it. Yeah.
Yep, I already wrote everything down, so it should only take a couple minutes.
Okay. Perfect.
Anything else anyone can think of we need to go over right now?
Think we're set.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I think we're good.
Sounds good. So I'll stop the broadcast and our video will upload.